Hello there, esports fans. I'm Richard Lewis, and welcome to ELEAGUE Weekly. It's week 6, and we welcomed in 4 new teams to Group F. Let's take a closer look at our first 2 teams.
Let's talk about complexity. Well, I'll start with you, Moses. You're our resident NA expert. And we're actually going to talk a little bit about just this team and indeed their coach, because a very experienced player behind them, certainly more experienced than anybody that's going to be on the server, in the form of Warden.
Yeah, and he's just been basically talking about the fact that this is a team that has talent, that has that. Warden was with complexity, that first big breakout, one of the first, or after 3, I guess it would be the first big North American team to win any kind of major event internationally. Warden was one of the star players on that team with guys like Fraud, as you can see here, legendary Opper. But yeah, they're gonna have to really kind of step up to live up to this kind of history within the organization. And it is kind of that same situation where there is, you know, a lot of players on this team that are young and inexperienced, but you know, they believe have the talent, and now they just have to kind of come together as a team. And just talking to Warden, he said that's the main thing.
Duncan, you're the esports historian, and certainly this team is rich with history.
Absolutely. I mean, in CSGO, obviously, they've had the lineup together the longest of any team. Over 2 years, won a major, won numerous titles, many top 4s. But you look at the lineup of the players, okay, in CSGO, the star is Snax. But if you want to talk about star power names, I still think the name of Neo goes above and beyond any of these guys here, because this guy, for me, was the best 1.6 player ever. He had the complete game. I've actually been saying recently, if you wanted to compare him to a player, I'd say compare him in 1.6 to what Nico is in CSGO. Totally well-rounded game, can dominate even when his team isn't in the game. In CSGO, he's had to change it up a bit. For me now, instead of using his skills, he uses his smarts. He knows that he's not there to be the star, he's there to facilitate younger guys like Snax and Bialy. Obviously, he knows what a star player needs because he was one himself. And the key thing about this guy is he puts in work where, since he can't dominate you with his aim, he's going to try and dominate you with his brain.
The first match of week 6 saw one of the top teams in the world, Virtus Pro, starting on Overpass against the North American team, Complexity Gaming. Being one of the oldest squads playing together, Virtus Pro had no problem establishing themselves as the favourites of Group F by jumping out to a 10-0 lead. They cruised into half-time behind Snax's 17 kills, allowing Complexity just 1 win in the first 15 rounds.
Will be Taz to close it out. Bialy with a triple kill.
With the Polish team needing just 2 more wins and playing as the counter-terrorists in the second half, they finally ended Complexity in round 23 to finish out this first map of week 6, 16-7. The second map of the series was set on Cobblestone, with Virtus Pro looking to beat up Complexity Gaming once again. But this time the North American squad came out ready to fight. After getting out to a 6-2 lead, Complexity went into half-time up 8-7.
It's all on Snax now in a 1v2 diffuse scenario, and he's not going to get it done.
That lead grew to 10-7.
What? Android with the double kill!
Before the favorites, playing as the terrorists, started cutting down Complexity.
He's going to go back for the peek. He sees it coming, and he gets the clutch.
Wow,
Beautiful work.
The assault continued to the end of the map, as Virtus Pro won 9 of the last 10 rounds for the 16-11 win and the sweep against the North American team. Now let's take a look at our other 2 teams on day 1.
One of the interesting things about this team, especially this iteration, is you've got a couple of very old school players from the CIS region. You've got Adren and Dosia. Adren was playing like literally 8-9 years ago. Dosia was actually one of the best players at the end of 1.6, one of the better players now. And here's the young guys, though. You've got the other end of the team of these players who've mainly come up in CSGO. Now, Mo actually was around in 1.6. He was playing for Kazakhstani teams, but he didn't have a lot of impact. Like, people didn't know him. He wasn't a household name by any stretch of the imagination. But in CSGO, he's actually gradually built a not bad little record, actually. He's kind of like a sleeper player, I think, because when he appeared in Hellraisers a while back, we start to notice he quickly emerges as the best player in that team towards the end. Then when they've transitioned to Gambit, I think I've noticed whenever he's had his best games is when this team's really been on form, and they've been that dangerous upset team. Because for me, they're not a team who are consistently going to have like a top 10 ranking, but they're one of the few teams outside of that top 10 who routinely will take maps.
The current chapter we're writing in the story of Envious, it's not a particularly great one, is it, Moses?
No, I mean, it's a dark timeline for them. They've had a very rough start to 2016. Actually opened it up with, I think, maybe one or two event wins, but since then, I mean, they've even gotten last place in a string of 3 events. You know, but these players should be no one new if you've been following Counter-Strike for a couple years. Kenny S at one point, the best player in the world overall. Best AWPer at the time. He's kind of drifted away, but they've got important players like NBK, Apex, just so much talent on this lineup. But it is Kenny who, you know, we've seen some changes. This is a guy who's trying to change his game so that he's not just reliant on the AWP. You know, speaking with him especially, he said, you know, he is a different player now. He's got to get more aspects into his game. But, I mean, there's no denying when he's on point with the AWP, he's so dangerous. He can just dominate the map with that one weapon. And this team actually is just going through a massive identity crisis. It's not just Kenny, it's Envy as a whole. They're really, really struggling right now to find some way to be consistently successful.
Envious took on Gambit Gaming in the second match of day one on Dust 2. Gambit grabbed the early 5-2 lead on this map, and with Team Envious underperforming in the past, they wanted to come out strong and push back against the Russian-Kazakh squad.
Now, they're just getting whittled down. Gambit happy, though. Huge impact from him. 2 kills. He basically saves the day.
They won 7 of 8 rounds to take the 9-6 halftime lead.
Gonna miss that shot, and he goes down to Adrian. That's a 3rd kill.
Both teams traded rounds back and forth as Gambit grabbed the 13-10 advantage.
Flashbang in from Apex and could catch Hooch off guard.
Envious answered with some amazing play
3 kills for Apex in that round.
and closed out the map by winning the last 6 rounds to take it 16-13. Map 2 of this series was set on cobblestone. Envious, with some confidence from the win in the last map, came out and dominated
Oh,
Gambit.
and there's a headshot for Apex, taking one and then a follow-up. Great double kill for Apex.
Taking a 10-4 lead as the terrorist. After half-time, Gambit just couldn't get any closer to the French squad.
And Devil holding on the plateau will eventually flank Adrian.
Yeah, very good stuff here from Devil, in fact.
Envious closed them out in round 25 to take the map 16-9 at its 2nd win on day 1.
Mo and Adren left, the 2 Kazakhstanian players looking for a way back in. Apex with a shot, and there it is. Envy gonna make it to 69.
We caught up with one of the great CSGO players in the world, Neo from Virtus Pro.
I'm here with Neo, who's a veteran CSGO player, 1.6 legend. When I had to try and figure out who do I think is the best player of all time in 1.6, you know, I decided it was you. What do you think it was about the way you played 1.6 that caught people's eye or impressed people when you think back?
I guess I was much more focused on myself than on the team. Right now I have to think about the strats, map picking before the game, all that stuff. Back in the day, someone told me what to do, I was trying to execute. Now it's more focus on the team.
In CSGO, now you have different stars on your team, you know.
Yeah.
What is the challenge of trying to help that guy be a star player or help him be his best? Is it difficult?
I mean, I don't think it's difficult. I mean, in the team I can do whatever is needed. Like when we won Dubai, ESL Dubai, I was the sniper. When we won Katowice, I was in-game leader. Sometimes I'm just a support player because we have other guys being snipers. So it's like I just do whatever's needed.
Do you think we will ever see you again as the guy who always has the most frags or is the one taking over the game? Will it ever be in your future, do you think?
Right now, I don't think so. We have really good fraggers on the team. When we won the major, I had the least number of frags, and I didn't really feel like I needed them. Other ones are not going to be playing support roles on the team like I can do it. So, oh.
So that was Neo from the 7th ranked team in the world, Virtus Pro. The last match of the day had them taking on the 9th ranked team, Envious, on Mirage. Both teams had good records on Mirage, and these 2 heavyweights traded blows early.
Devil just goes leaping in, and he eventually sprays Taz down and gets a follow-up on Snacks and the follow-up on Pasha. Devil, huge round for him.
No, he's alone. MBK running out of time quick here, and that's going to be the kill.
But it was Envious, playing as the CTs, that took the lead at half-time, 9-6. Virtus Pro quickly tied it up
Mac 10's running right in, and Neo.
as these teams kept going back and forth.
Spray, but Snacks, he's doing what Snacks does best. Dances through the smoke, charges down Devil, drops the bomb in mid. 30 seconds left now, and the full flash, followed by the kill from Snacks.
And eventually, Envious forced overtime.
Rotating all the way around back into 1-on-2, and that's going to be the round here. Overtime.
Virtus Pro turned up the heat in OT and took the first map 19-16. The final map of day 1 was set on cash. Envious took the first 3 rounds, but it was Virtus Pro who turned it on, squashing Envious by winning 8 straight rounds after that.
I mean, VP right now are just they're feeling it. They're feeling so confident. They're willing to go aggressive anywhere, anytime, and they're winning all the duels. VP just fighting back, and Bialdi hunts down Apex in A main.
The French team answered, coming out of half-time as the CTs, and they were on a mission.
Pasha and Neo gonna be left here, but not for long. Happy gonna be taking care of them. Triple kill.
Winning 8 straight rounds and forcing a Virtus Pro timeout. It didn't stop the push, and Envious finished off Virtus Pro with a 16-11 win as both teams ended day one with matching 3-1 records.
He walks out and he's gonna go down 16-11 as Envy take down Virtus Pro on cash.
Earlier in the week, we caught up with Kenny S from Team Envious.
What has been the biggest change in the team that you've noticed over practice over the past 2 months? Because you guys have been a little bit absent from the normal tour of events that most pro teams go on. What is that big change that we're going to see in Envious going forward?
The only thing I can say is before and after the qualifier until now, we are doing really, really good in practice, which it never happened with this team. Like even at the beginning of the team, we were really good in practice, but not like that. And practice is what make you confident as a team. But for now, our confidence is pretty good because we actually win every practice.
So we enter the second day of the Group F E-League round robin with Kenny S's team Envious going against Complexity Gaming on Train. The North American crew grabbed the first 3 rounds, but then Envious went ballistic as the counter-terrorists.
There's the shot. Beautiful shot there from Kenny.
And reeled off 12 straight wins.
Devil will be Envy to win the round, but that's a massive success. Happy was definitely putting a lot of kills on the scoreboard right now.
To take the 12-3 half-time lead behind Devil's 18 kills. Complexity regrouped and battled back, winning 9 of 12 rounds after half-time.
Sick work from Sanks. That's another clutch going Complexity's way.
To pull within 3, making things interesting. But finally, in round 28, Envious stopped the comeback and got the map win, 16-12.
So he just has so little HP to work with, but another Kenny clutch comes through for Envy, and that's going to end it.
The second map of the series was set on cobblestone, and Envious jumped all over Complexity, getting out to a 6-0 lead.
That's an ace for Kenny.
Complexity answered back, taking 6 straight rounds to tie it all up.
Android gonna go out and just straight get the kill. Double for him.
Whitmer with the Tech 9 will find him.
Envious edged it at half-time, 8-7. Then playing as the terrorists, Envious stormed out and applied the pressure to Complexity.
These shots from a Devil, though, pretty good stuff here.
Now Apex looking for the headshot. We'll find it on Android.
They won 7 of 8 rounds behind Kenny S's 30 kills. Envious went on to win the map 16-9.
He gets spotted by Kenny, and Happy just instantly hit the headshot, and that is it.
And finished their round-robin portion with a 5-1 record. Virtus Pro went into the second match of day 2, knowing they needed to win both maps versus Gambit Gaming for a chance as the Group F #1 seed. Set on Nuke, Virtus Pro got off to a shaky start, going down 8-3 to the underdogs. Gambit continued to apply pressure and found cracks in the Polish team's armor.
He's got the triple. He's got one single bullet left to take out Neo's defusing, and oh, it's a headshot!
Is this real life? Is this what's gonna happen? Hooch there to take out Bialdi, and Hooch with the headshot on Pasha's.
1 versus 1. Hooch, he saved them last time, and he's gonna save them again back to back.
Getting out to a 14-6 lead. Virtus Pro tried to get back into it, but Gambit held off the late push to secure the upset 16-12 and take the first map of this series. The second map was set on Train, with Virtus Pro looking to get off to a better start. They got out to a 5-1 lead as the CTs.
Nice spray here from Taz. Move.
Gambit would not go down easy though, taking 7 of the next 9 rounds to grab a slight edge at half-time, 8-7. Virtus Pro regrouped and showed their dominance in the second half. They won 9 of the 10 rounds to split the series with Gambit by winning 16-9. Virtus Pro will be the #2 seed with a 4-2 record when the semi-finals start on day 3. The final competition of Day 2 saw a matchup between Gambit Gaming and the winless Complexity on Cash.
Surreal is ready and waiting for him, and the easiest headshot of Surreal's life.
In a battle to see who would be the number 3 seed in Group F, Complexity gained the advantage early.
Surreal, so it's all on Sanks. And Sanks, he was winning clutches earlier this morning. Has to do it again, and he will.
Getting out to an 8-3 lead. After being down at half-time, Gambit mounted the comeback as the terrorists
Hooch through the smoke, it's the perfect timing. Spots out Sanks right on the edge. Free kill for him from short.
eventually tying the score at 14 apiece. Complexity would win it 2 rounds later, edging it just 16-14 as they pick up their first win in group play. The last map of Day 2 turned out to have some importance, as the winner would become the number 3 seed for the semi-finals. Set on train, Complexity continued where they left off after map 1, getting out to a 7-2 lead and then a 9-6 half-time score. This time, Gambit didn't let the map get away as they kept it close.
Mo winning up the round. Cooch getting with the bomb plant here. Mo's second kill, in fact.
Every shot with the AWP, pick after pick. His entire team gets picked off, and it's an actual ace. It is an ace for Mo.
Battling back to tie the score at 13-all. Gambit continued to push
Drops to Mo, picks up another quad kill.
and finished off Complexity in round 29 to take the 3rd seed in the semis. So heading into Day 3 semi-final round, number 1 seed Team Envious will take on the 4th seeded Complexity. That will be followed by the 2nd seeded Virtus Pro meeting 3rd seeded Gambit. Stay tuned for an all-access team feature with one of the greatest teams in the world, Virtus Pro.